guys, if you are a beginner Poshmark seller or you have not sold on Poshmark yet and you have all of the basic questions and you're wondering what you need to know to sell on Poshmark, I'm about to answer a bunch of frequently asked questions. So I have this video, which is a really popular video. It's one of the first videos that comes up when you are searching for Poshmark basics or how to sell on Poshmark for beginners. It's a guide to kind of starting on Poshmark, but it is about 2 years old now. Well, a year and a half. I made it in September of 2019. It has over 100,000 views and 468 comments, and a lot of them are questions, and many of them are kind of the same question over and over. So I thought I would make a more casual video where I sit here and kind of answer those questions for you, because obviously those are the questions that Poshmark beginners are asking. So I'm just gonna sit here at my computer and answer some of the questions that we have, and hopefully this video helps you with the questions that you're asking about selling on Poshmark. How do you get paid when you sell an item on Poshmark? So how it works on Poshmark is once you have sold an item, the buyer has paid for that item, they have also paid for shipping, and Poshmark holds on to that money until the item is delivered. So it's your job to print the label, which is provided by Poshmark, put it on the package, mail it out, and there's tracking on it, and Poshmark will know when it has been delivered to the buyer. Once it has been delivered to the buyer has 3 days to accept that package and make sure everything's okay. And once they accept it, then the funds get released into your Poshmark account or into your Poshmark balance. And then you can go ahead and direct deposit that into your bank account, which you will link to Poshmark. If they don't accept the package within 3 days, it will automatically just release into your Poshmark account. I'm gonna hop on my phone and show you how to find where all that is. So when you're in the Poshmark app, what you're gonna wanna do is you are going to click on your name, and then you're going to go down to My Balance and click My Balance, and it will show you how much you have in your redeemable balance. So redeemable is where you have your balance. So if you have something to redeem, you can click in here and request a deposit, and it usually takes a couple of days to deposit into your bank account. Of course, you have to link your bank account to get this payment. The next question is about shipping. I do have a shipping video about Poshmark here where I answer a lot of shipping questions, so make sure you go ahead and watch that as well. But I will answer, just give you a little bit of information about shipping. So when a buyer buys something from you, they pay for shipping unless you offer them a shipping discount. So when you list an item, you can add a shipping discount so that they're paying a discounted rate, or you can just leave it as it is, or you can even offer free shipping. So it's up to you how you want to do it. If you do offer discounted shipping, then that amount that you have discounted it will come out of your profit from the item. Once an item is sold, you will go into your sales, you will click on your username or your closet name, and then you will go to My Sales, click on that, and then it will show all of your sales, and you will click into the sale, and you will be able to print shipping from your phone if you have a phone that's connected via Wi-Fi, or you need to hop on the computer and do the same thing and download the label and print it that way. You don't have to pay for shipping when the item is sold. You just get the label. You don't have to do anything in regards to shipping other than print the label and ship the item. So another common question is, how much is the fee? So the Poshmark fee is 20% if your sale is over $15. If the item price is over $15, it's 20%. If it's under $15, it's $2.95. So if you sell something for $5, then you minus $2.95. If you sell something for $14, you take off $2.95. But if it's over $15, then it's 20% and you get 80%. You don't have to directly pay Poshmark this fee. They just take it out before they pay you. So if, let's say you sold something for $20, instead of you getting $20 and then paying them a 20% fee, they just give you the 80% that you earned. So there's really no fees to pay to them because they take it upfront. Now there is no fee to list. That is a question I get a lot. If it costs money to list, you don't have to pay anything to list. It is completely free to list items. You only pay once you sell something. Now another question I get a lot is how to kind of stay safe on Poshmark and how to know who you can trust on Poshmark. Luckily through Poshmark, people are paying Poshmark directly. If anybody asks you to do a transaction off of Poshmark through PayPal or gives you their phone number or their email address, avoid that at all costs because likely they're a scammer, and even if they're not, it's against Poshmark's rules to contact people via Poshmark to do a transaction off of Poshmark. Obviously, they want to make their fee, so it's going to be against their rules to do that. So if anybody's trying to get you off of Poshmark to do a transaction, avoid that. Otherwise, if someone places an order with Poshmark and pays for it, then go ahead and ship their item out. There's really nothing to look out for in that sense. If you do have an issue with a buyer afterwards, it is a good idea to contact Poshmark and let them know if you're having an issue with them, but scammers and people like that on Poshmark are really pretty rare, and with the hundreds of packages that I've shipped on Poshmark, I haven't really had an issue. So this person wants to know how the transaction works. I kind of explained this a little bit, but basically what happens is a buyer sees an item, they want the item, they click buy, they pay for it, and then you get a notification that your item has sold. Once you have that notification, you can go into the sale, print the shipping label, put the item in a package, seal it, put the label on top, drop it off at USPS, and you're good to go. Once the buyer gets the item, they can accept the item in Poshmark and let Poshmark know that everything's okay. If they don't do that within 3 days, then you get the money anyway, regardless of if they've reviewed it or left a note or anything. And that's pretty much how a transaction works on Poshmark. This person wants to know if you're washing clothes before you're shipping them. So this, I think, is personal preference. It just depends for me. Some items I will not wash because they're already in good condition. They don't have a weird smell, they don't have wrinkles. And I've had situations where I went to go wash something and it came out looking worse and more wrinkled and not as good as it did before I washed it. So unless something really needs to be washed, or I have a lot of items from the thrift store that just kind of feel dusty or anything, I will generally leave them alone. Another really common question is how to share an item on Poshmark. So I'm gonna grab my phone and show that to you as well. So what you want to do is open the Poshmark app, click on your name and click My Closet. You're going to go and you're going to see your items there. And then all you need to do is click the button that looks like 2 arrows and then click Share to My Followers. But all you have to do when you share your items every day is you just share to my followers. And I recommend doing this at least once a day. This bumps your item up in the just shared feeds. So when someone goes into shirts or shoes or a certain brand, usually it's filtered by just shared. So your item will be bumped up to the top of that feed. If you can share more than once a day, that's even better, but I recommend at least once a day. I don't really like to share that much, so I just do it once a day. So this person is asking a question about shipping as well. They said, do I have to ship with Poshmark or can I ship it on my own? I don't have a printer to print the shipping label. Unfortunately, you can't go to the post office and ship the item because Poshmark provides you with the label. So if you were to do that, not only would Poshmark not reimburse you for that shipping label, you'd be paying for it out of pocket. You would also not have any tracking for that package because the tracking is connected to the label Poshmark provides you. If you can't afford a printer, there are some pretty affordable printers. You can get one for like probably $50 or so. If you can't afford a printer or you just don't have somewhere to put one, you can usually go to a library or a shipping store or something like that and find a place to just print it. And they'll usually charge you maybe 10 cents to print a page, and you can just print it on a regular piece of paper and tape it onto the package. So if you're not doing a high volume of packages, then you can go ahead and just do it that way. And whenever you make a sale, just head over to the library or a FedEx store, UPS store, or something like that, and print there. I think you can even print at places like Staples or Office Depot. I haven't done that in a long time, so I don't know, but there are usually places around you that will allow you to print and they'll just charge you a couple cents to do it. Once you start to get a lot of packages, I really like label printers. I will link to a couple down below. I have a Dymo, but if I were to do it again, I would get, I think it's a Zebra printer. That's one that a lot of people really like, and it seems to jam up a little bit less than a Dymo, and I think it might even be a little bit cheaper. So a label printer is really nice, but it is a little bit pricey. They are over $100, so I would wait until you can afford that and you can kind of reinvest that into your business from your profits. So this person said, you mentioned reposting and sharing. Do I delete the posting and then repost? Also sharing how to do that. I just showed you how to share, but as far as reposting goes, I like to repost items that kind of have been sitting for a while. Usually if something's been sitting for like a month or two, if I have time, I will delete and repost that item. I used to do it manually, but now I use Vendoo. The great thing is in Vendoo, all I have to do is click delist and then relist, and it will create a whole new listing without me having to do anything else. If you want to check out Vendoo, I have a link down in the description where you can get 25% off your first month. It does cost a little bit of money, but it saves me so much time. It is so worth it. So I use that to delist and relist my items that are kind of sitting there for a while and I want to relist. It's not something that you have to do, but it is something that I like to do when items haven't sold to kind of get fresh eyes on it. Another really common question I get is how to get the free USPS shipping supplies. You can really just Google USPS free shipping and it will come up, but I made a really easy link for you to follow. Just go to hustleandslow.com/free USPS and it will lead you to the free shipping supplies on the USPS website, so that you can find it really easily. You can order it to come straight to your house, and any of those priority mailboxes you can use with Poshmark. Okay, so this person is talking about returns. They're concerned about returns. They want to sell their shoes, but when you buy shoes, they don't always fit or look the way you want. How do you handle that? Will my customer pay to send them back? What is your experience with this? So Poshmark actually doesn't accept returns unless there's something wrong with the item. So if a customer gets a pair of shoes, for example, and they don't fit right, they can't just return them because they don't fit. The only way they can return something is if it was damaged or misrepresented when you sold it to them. So if that's the case, they can open a dispute with Poshmark, and Poshmark will kind of mediate the dispute and then figure out what to do. It all just depends. This doesn't happen that often, but that's why it's really important to be really clear about sizes, condition, any flaws, so that you don't accidentally misrepresent something and send someone something that they're not expecting to get. I'm going to read you Poshmark's return policy directly from their website. It says, all sales are final on Poshmark. However, we take an active role in each and every purchase made to ensure both the buyer and seller have a great experience. Buyer may open a case with us if they don't receive their item or if the item they receive is not as described within the listing. So they do not currently offer returns for fit issues, no longer wanting the item, or delayed delivery. So if a buyer receives an item that is not described as described within the listing, or the wrong item is sent, or in some other way is not as described, they can report their problem within 3 days after receiving the item. When a case is open, the buyer is asked to upload photos and offer details on the item. If the return is verified, then Poshmark will assist the buyer in returning the item to the seller and offer them a full refund. Okay, so this comment is, have you ever experienced that you shipped an item, it says it was delivered, but the buyer insisted that he or she didn't receive it? This has happened to me a couple of times. I don't know specifically on Poshmark because I sell on other platforms, but occasionally people will say that they didn't receive an item. It shows that it's delivered and they don't have it. It's not in their mailbox, it's not on their porch. And in some cases it's because it got stolen, and in some cases it's because the post office delivered it to the wrong house or didn't deliver it at all. So usually when this happens, I let them know that it's technically out of my hands and in the hands of USPS. And I let them know to contact their local post office and provide the tracking information and see if they can hunt it down. Technically, once I have shipped an item and it's been checked in by USPS, I have no control over the situation. So in these cases, that's what I usually tell them to do. And usually they'll find out that either someone in their family picked up the package and forgot to tell them, or their neighbor grabbed it, or I've had someone say that they found it like in a bush next to their porch. So it honestly just depends, but they need to go ahead and figure it out with USPS. Let's see what Poshmark says about lost packages, just to see what would happen in that case. Okay, so here is what Poshmark says about lost packages. It is on their Can I Trust Buying and Selling on Poshmark page. It says, when your item sells, we send you a prepaid, pre-addressed USPS priority mail shipping label for your package. As long as you use the Poshmark provided label and the package is scanned into the USPS tracking system. So as long as it's been scanned into the system and they have proof that you actually mailed the item, then you will be fully covered by Poshmark should the package get lost in transit by USPS. So basically you are covered if a package gets lost as long as it's been scanned into USPS. So this person wants to know if they can list and load their shop and postpone it from going live because they're going to be out of town for a few months and they can't ship until they return. And yes, this is totally possible. When you go to list an item, let me show you on my phone. So when you go to list an item, you click sell. I'm just going to take a picture of my desk and move along. And then when you go down to the bottom, under availability, you would click that where it says for sale and click not for sale. And then you would just save it as not for sale. And then you can go ahead and change it to for sale when you get back from your trip or whenever you're ready to do it for sale. Alternatively, you can also do a drop date. So if you click drops, you can pick a date in the future that it will drop, but it has to be within 7 days. So if you're only going out of town for like 3 days and you want it to just automatically post on the 4th day so that it's live when you get home, then you can do that. Another thing you can do is if you already have a bunch of things posted and you're going on vacation, you don't have to go and change every single item to not available. You can just go in, click on your username, go down to where it says My Seller Tools, and then click on Vacation Hold. And then you can toggle this over and click when your vacation is over, and then it will automatically put all your listings back up after your vacation is over. So this is a good way if you're going to go on vacation to take your listings down and then have them go back up when you get back. So those are the most common questions that I get on my beginner Poshmark video. Hopefully this helped you. You can go watch the beginner Poshmark video right here, or I also have a Poshmark shipping video that you can check out. I will link to both of those below so you can check those out too. If you have any other questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. I also want to mention that I do have a course called the Reseller Roadmap where I teach you to start a reselling business, I go over eBay and Poshmark, so I cover both of those in there, and it teaches you how to source things that are going to actually make you a profit, how to price things, how to ship things, all of that really important basic information. I always like to say that you do not need a course to start reselling online or to really start any side hustle, but some people do find it helpful to have step-by-step instructions and videos to kind of guide you through starting your resale business. So if you want to check that out, I will link to that down below, but you can also just go to resellerroadmap.com and use the code YouTube for a discount. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.